and fracture strength. These three are very, very important, or we have to find out the yield strength, ultimate strength, and fracture strength. Suppose the graph is like this. Yes, this is for mycelial material already we discussed. Okay, now up to here there is a proportionality limit P. This is elastic limit. This is upper yield. This is lower yield. This is ultimate, and this is fracture. So if you understand, if we got like this curve, this is very easy to determine the yield strength, ultimate strength, and fracture strength, because here we know the yield point. Here we can get the definite yield point. So here we can get the definite ultimate load, and here we can get the definite fracture load. Suppose how would like to calculate the yield strength in particular in this case. Yield strength is equal to yield load divided by cross-sectional area of the sample. So yield load is how much it is. Assume it is around about the 40 is there. Okay. Now you can take yield load 40 kilonewton divided by cross-sectional area. Assume it is something cross-sectional area around about 200 or 250. You can take 250 mm². Kilonewton per mm². Once you simplify this, definitely we'll get a one value. That value is called as yield strength. Similarly, if you want to calculate the ultimate, so ultimate strength is equal to ultimate load divided by cross-sectional area of the sample. Now you will get the ultimate strength. Suppose we got like this curve. It's not difficult to find out this yield strength and ultimate strength as well as fracture strength, because this graph will show the definite yield value, because we cannot we can observe this. We can see this load. Assume it is 40. I shown you for your particular material while conducting. If you got like this curve, definitely this will show the definite yield point. You can take that directly yield load divided by cross-sectional area, then you will get the yield strength of that particular material. Suppose the graph will be like this. Up to here, I can take it P, proportionality limit. So above that, this is elastic limit. Now I can take this as a ultimate. This is the fracture. Yes. In this case, I know only ultimate. This graph will show only the ultimate or a definite ultimate point and a definite fracture point. Then I can calculate the ultimate strength and fracture strength. But where is the yield? Just to compare, here we get a definite yield point for this particular material, which is for MS material. It happens in MS material. For example, this is one of the non-porous materials, copper or aluminum. You can take it is copper. You can take it. Where is the yield point? Because I have to calculate the yield also. Because this is the first step which we can find out the yield point of that particular material. Because this is from yield, what it understands. Once we got the yield from that material, that means plastic deformation begins to start, because it is very, very important to calculate the, or very, very important to know the yield point of that particular material. But here, this is MS material, no problem, because we get a definite yield. Definitely, we are going to calculating the things. But in this case, there is no yield. Then how will you calculate the yield strength in this particular in this graph? This is what our intensity is to the offset method, stress and strain. Because this is the difficulty, because this is the challenge to the engineers, because suppose we got like this curve, and how can I find out the yield? Or the copper material will not show the yield point, or it doesn't have a definite yield point, it doesn't processes the, or do not processes the or do not exhibits the definite yield point. Where there is a yield? Or these kinds of materials will not have a yield point, or will not show the yield point? Yes, definitely. Each and every material there is a point. You can take copper material, you can take MS, you can take mild steel, you can take copper, you can take aluminum, you can take magnesium, you can take any kinds of material, cast iron, so CI, you can take any kinds of engineering materials. Each and every material has a yield point. Definitely, each and every material you can take any kinds of the material, any kind of the material, uh, those materials definitely has a yield point. But some materials, among all these, some materials will show like this graph, which means they will show all the silent points, will show definite point, definite yield point, and definite ultimate and definite factor. Some materials will not show like this, not show like this. They will show like this. For example, second copper is there. Copper will showing like this. So the missing part is here yield, because this graph we cannot observe the upper yield and lower yield, but we have to calculate the yield strength. In this case, we are applying the offset method or proof stress method. How it works, proof stress method? That's what I told you last class. First, you have to note down yourselves what kind of material I am selecting. Suppose if you selecting harder material, you can take a strain value, because this is a strain value. This is strain. This is strain, or this is the stress. If suppose if you are selecting material is a hard material, then you can take 0.2 percentage of strain value, 0.2 percentage of strain value for harder material, for harder material. Suppose if you take an, or if you are selecting a less harder material, then you can take 0.1 percentage of strain value for less harder material. Less harder material. Suppose if you are selecting the material which is belongs to the very soft in nature, then you can take 0.05% of strain value for softer material. Hope you understand. Strain values, already they will given the strain values. When we can use this, when we are getting like this graphs, this graph will not show the yield point. Now we have to apply the offset method, then we can find out the yield point of this, definite yield point of this particular